Hello and welcome to problem set 112. Today we are going to study the binomial theorem, and I can't write something different than I'm saying or I'll get messed up. So, binomial theorem. Now you've already actually studied this, and so I think the question is, why didn't you tell me this already? Why didn't you tell me this already? Why didn't you tell me this cool trick that allows me to figure out the coefficient in front of something like that, rather than me having to draw out the Pascal's triangle? Well, sorry. Honestly, it's because that's the way the book is ordered. But I think there's a deeper reason here. So let's write out these powers as I ramble on. Remember, the first number goes down in power. And the second number goes up, or the second variable goes up in power. So we would have b to the 0, b to the 1, b squared, b cubed, and finally b to the 4th. Since a to the 0 is 1, we'll eliminate that. Okay. Oh. Hello. So, the question again, why didn't you tell me this earlier? There's a simple trick that we can use to solve for the coefficients of these, so we don't have to do so much work. We're going to learn that today. But I want to address that question because I think oftentimes God doesn't give us the entire picture. He doesn't show us the easy way out. He doesn't show us the tricks until we have a good understanding of his character, of his heart. Things are not always easy, and sometimes we have to go through periods of time of difficulty in order to be able to apply those later and understand God's will in our life. So I would challenge you guys with that question. Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Because sometimes you need to do the hard work to prepare you for that. You're going to see that in your life. You're going to see that in your family. You're going to see that at church. It just happens. So from Pascal's triangle, we recall that the coefficient should be this. Let's see here. This is the 4, 1, so this is our row right here. That wasn't too bad. So from Pascal's triangle, I expect coefficients of 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. But let's take, I don't know, this term right here. There is another way to get that coefficient, and here's how to do it. You're going to take the highest power, and that's your numerator, factorial. You're going to divide by these two numbers, factorial. 3 factorial, 1 factorial. So basically, you're taking the highest order power that you have, 4 factorial in the numerator, and then you're going to take the two powers of the term you want, so 3 and 1, and that'll be the bottom. What is 4 factorial? Well, it is simply 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. What is 3 factorial? 3 times 2 times 1. 1 factorial is 1. And we get the coefficient 4. Okay? So if you write out the terms that you want, you can get that pretty easily by taking the sum of those. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 factorial over 3 factorial, 1 factorial. So what would it be for this one? Well, 2 plus 2 is still 4, so it would be 4 factorial over 2 factorial, 2 factorial. If you work that out, you'll get 6. What would this one be? Well, this one is 4 factorial, because 1 plus 3 is still 4, over 1 factorial, 3 factorial. So you'll notice that the symmetry comes out pretty easily because 1 factorial times 3 factorial is the same as 3 factorial times 1 factorial. Now, you might be asking, well, how is that any easier? That's actually more work than just looking in the back of my book or in the back of my notebook. I have the Pascal's triangle drawn out. I don't need this. Well, what if I asked you to find the 5th term of the expansion a plus b to the 60th? That's a little bit more gross, right? So what would the 5th term be? For the first term, a would be to the 60th power. Second term, 59, 58, 57, 56. So we know A is going to be to the 56th power, B is going to be to the 4th power, because these two powers have to add up to make 60. So again, there's two ways to find those powers. You can either add going up with B, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your 5th term, and then solve for the power on A. Or you can count down from A, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, and then solve for B, because they have to add up to that number there. Now, what's our coefficient going to be here? Well, it's going to be 60 factorial over 56 factorial 4 factorial. You really don't want to draw out Pascal's triangle to the 60th row. That's unpleasant. But we can solve this problem. It's 60 times 59 times 58, still grows, times 57, over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Because I canceled my 56 factorials. I can do a little bit of work here. Let's see, 2 and 58 will be 29. 3 and 57 should be 19. 4 and 60 should be 15. And you can multiply those out. I would use a calculator at this point. In fact, you could program this whole problem into your calculator. Problem. There we go. So this is 15 times 59 times 29 times 19, which is 487,635. So your answer would be 487,635, A to the 56th, B to the 4th. Gross, but it's a faster way of doing it than drawing out Pascal's triangle. So that, my friends, is problem set 112.